Great. Going to call to order. This is the September 9, 2025 meeting of the Worcester County Fire Protection District 8. And our usual order, first order of business is any public comment. That's public here. If anybody has anything they want to get off their chest. Seeing none, we will move to the next and most important thing this evening, which is recognition of members. Chief LeMay.
Thank you. All right, welcome everybody. It's a fun time. On behalf of Chief Van Camp, our elected officials, Board of Fire Commissioners, myself, really happy. This is kind of the fun part we get to do is recognize our folks. So we're going to recognize a lot of our members that are coming off probation and also recognize our new lateral members that are joining in, and they're going to be doing some pinning on and have a good time recognize them. Feel free to stick around after we go through our process. We're going to have cake and we're going to socialize and we're going to hang out. After this, you're welcome to stick around for the meeting, but not everybody decides to stick around for the rest of the business portion, but you're welcome to do either one. So, the fire department, we've got a lot of, stuff, engines and all that, but we like to really recognize that it's the people that make up the fire department. It's all of you fine folks that help us out, that join the team, that really make everything happen. So I think it's really important that we all recognize that and take a minute to appreciate each other. So we definitely appreciate everything all of you guys do. And so with that, enough of me, we'll get on with the recognizing. So we're going to introduce some of our volunteers that have joined and have completed their probation, gone through at least a 6-month period of time. Some have been longer. We do these sporadically as we need to. So with that, I'm first going to invite up Mason Lukowski. He's going to be joined by his sister, Allie, and his mom, Renee. We'll invite them up here. After we do the pinning, I'm going to have the walk this way, and our commissioners and district secretary would like to congratulate you after. Okay, come on over here. Now, Allie and Renee are going to pin on his collar brass. Face over down and get some pictures. If I may have you on it. All right, Mason. All right, Kiefer Hansen. Coming up to Kiefer joined us in March 2024. Being on is Battalion Chief Daryl Klaus. I can see.
I can help it. She's supposed to do that.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
He has so much
Where's your
initiative.
glasses?
This is the one where I could hurt you.
Awesome. Picture.
Thank you, Chief.
Right.
Chief Hanson. All right, Terrence Burton. Chief Class, don't go too far. Chief Klaus. Oh, I'm sorry.
Beyonce's gonna take care
Oh,
of
there
it.
you go. Good call.
We just
Good
met
call.
like 2 minutes
Very good.
ago.
All right, and Suzette, depending on.
Okay.
All right, and we had a group of 5 lateral career members join us, so I'd like to first invite up John Rigsby. His daughter. Piper is gonna have the honor to get on. Congratulations. All right, right up Angus Carpenter. This is his girlfriend Heidi. It's your chance to step. I'd like to invite up Keaton Christensen. More. Dean Christensen. I'd like to invite up Mr. Paul Barrow. Paul is his wife, Sarah. Right, all of our laterals joined us in July, and I'm proud to say they're all doing really well, come along faster than we really expected, and we've got a good group of people, so we welcome all of you. Thank you. Welcome, congratulate, meet each other, we're gonna have some cake, and let's take 20 minutes to have some time.
Yeah, let's, we're gonna recess the official meeting for about 20 minutes, and we'll have cake, and then we'll come back and finish our business.
No, are you starting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Small hint, small hint.
Oh.
We stay?
Yeah, it says recording.
Oh,
up there
okay.
at the top.
I turned it on and off like 5.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we are going to come back from our little recess session. That was an excellent opportunity to meet some of our new folks, some folks who've been here for a while that have kind of matriculated to get their color brass and all that. So, and thanks for sticking around, you guys. All right, so our next order of business is the chief's report. And Mr. LeMay, you are subbing for Chief Van Camp.
Yeah, so Chief, if everybody had a chance to review it, he sent out the August report out last week. I'll notice some of the areas we're behind on goal 1 and 2, but that'll be a future agenda. Save questions for that section. I appreciate it. If there's any other questions, happy to. Chief's report.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chief. So that goal 1, you want to wait? Push
I'm
down?
gonna have a specific.
Okay.
Okay. Jen or Gloria, anything that you want to bring up other than the goals 1 and 2? Okay.
No, I had no questions.
No, that's fine, thanks.
All right, yeah, we took care of that. Thank you. All right, now we will move into goal 1, goal 2 for Mr. LeMay.
So I know we've been falling behind on our goal 1. I'll start with goal 1 stuff first, which is updating our policy procedure work. It took a lot longer. It's still taking a lot longer than we anticipated doing. Sometimes these things get more complicated, sometimes a little sideways. Conflicting priorities as well with getting hirings, so there's been a few different things. So what I wanted to do today, and I know at the last commissioner meeting, committed to giving an update more detail on exactly the specific challenges we're having. So goal one, what you're looking at is a status update for each of the different policy and procedures that we're going through, we're addressing, we're talking about. And some of them have some snags. I get in as much depth as you want, but for sake of time, I'll still get some information I thought would be good as a kind of overview each one. And then if there's any questions or anything you want to get into, we can stop, just feel free to cut me off and see if you want to dig into any of that. So the first one are standard evolution guidelines. With this one, ended up being an existing procedure. And you'll notice down on the agenda later, we have a couple of drafts, some policy stuff. The big strategy that we're looking at doing, so say 20 years ago on our policy and procedures, we had a lot of procedure level stuff in elected official level policy. Right, it got so, disjointed that what we did is we made a conscious effort that we're going to make more policy level for our elected officials to sign the policy level, what types of things to do, and then update the details. For example, one of the ones you'll see that we're going to share with you later today is on our standard evolution guidelines. A lot of that stuff we can talk about District 7, how we're interoperability with District 7, whether there's District 7 merged with District 7. There's discussion on the details of how we interact with police and fire, how we interact with and we realize that that's really not the appropriate place to have policy because all those details change. So what you'll see later is on the agenda here is the draft policy level talk about on this one. So with the standard evolution guidelines, we're revamping the details in on there. And then Chief's got the draft that sent out, the policy level is going to change with that. Now, for a few of them, like initial fire ground operations standby team, skip down a couple more, emergency fire ground signal, or I'm sorry, rapid intervention teams, firefighter accountability. There's so many of these things that had specific policy and or procedure blended in with these. And we're looking at taking a different strategy rather than just take the previous drafts and update and change them and have an SOP for each and every subject. The new strategy I think is going to be better is to take the overall concept of those, because a lot of them tie together with the intervention teams, the same way teams, how the discussion happens. We think that we can take that concept, put it back into more procedure level, and probably have one that will eliminate three of them. So a lot of that, and then coming through. Another one is, well, the mutual aid and automatic response. That one was kind of just one of the policy levels that we'll probably see request for adoption next month. But should have Heidi sent out the language on that policy. Firefighter accountability, that would be, let's see, there's another one, like emergency fire ground signal. With that one, we have a county procedure committee. In fact, have a member on our procedure committee, county committee. There's a lot of things that don't make sense to just do on our own, but we need to make sure they're operable. So there's some county level work. So with that one, I'm actually going to recommend and request that, not today, but for the future, that we take that off of goal one because it has a bigger impact. So I'm going to work with Chief Van Camp and request his approval to take that off of goal one and then push that as far as get the county level work going for that.
So you have three of them on there. Rapid intervention team, firefighter accountability, and emergency fire ground signal, or should be at a county level.
Right. Yes, but we also need to update our own. So the first idea is we can get the drafted on them and then make sure at the county level that they're conflicting. But yeah, absolutely have to have interoperability on a lot of that stuff. But the fire ground signal one, we specifically said we got to work directly with the community rather than with the county level, and then just take what that is and adopt it locally. But yeah, those would all be pieces on there. I just can't really offload all my work onto the county level stuff. So I think we still need to have some of what do we think it is, and then I would bring it back to county level and say, and then make sure there's no conflicts on that. For the hazardous materials one, this is going to be a policy level. That's actually one of the topics that we'll get into on our agenda. Standard, going down to new SOPs in development. One of the big ones is standard staffing procedure. This is probably one of the heavier things that are going to help us out, especially since we have our goal of staff associations, Association 8183. We've had a lot of challenge and inconsistency as far as how staffing would look on, if you have this many people, how do you take two from here and put them over there, or keep them all here? And this one's really intended to give a little more guidance to everybody for how you can staff based on how many people you have on a shift at a time.
Yeah. And so the concept there is to essentially have all three groups at the battalion level.
Right.
Basically address that in a one similar fashion.
Exactly.
Are we calling that minimum staffing?
No.
Okay.
No, what we've done is said if they're, well, it ties into the concept, but we're not calling it minimum staffing. What it is so we'll never have less than two people on it. What it starts getting into is if you have, well, what if you have four? Do we put two out at 83 and do we put two here at 81? Do we fold them and depend on qualifications? The procedures designed to kind of give some guidance on saying, if you only have three, well, guess what? We're only staffing station one.
Yeah.
If you have four with the right qualification, we can 2 and 2, but we're gonna try to ramp up to get 3 people on each company. The procedure says, if this many people, then here's how we would deploy them.
Yeah.
So that would be a subset, it'd be a procedure that would tie into the updated policy of the first one that I mentioned that she's getting out, it pretty much says, hey, we're gonna figure out staffing policy level, and the SOP level gets into the, and here's the details of how we do it. So we've got a committee that has been helping out with that. Shared around with some officers, got some input, and it's still the back and forth stage because every time, this is part of the delay, the learning lesson for me. You think we can get a thing done by June, you realize to change this animal, another group has a concern about changing that animal, so you change that animal, and then it's a draft, and then you want to do it again, and get it another, so that's kind of been part of our chip, so still trying to make it work, but people bring up good points, counterpoints, and we're back to the version on it. And the next one, EMS transport procedure. This is an SOP. Chief Paul has chaired the committee that worked on that. And on our agenda later, we had to go see that the EMS services, that would be the policy 250. We bring a policy level that says, yes, we acknowledge we might have to transport a procedure getting specific into if, when, how would we actually put somebody in our AV. Technical rescue procedures. This is in a draft stage. So Chief Klaus has been working committee on the technical rescue, and we fortunately have some technical rescue types that are on that, and we've been trying to get feedback from other departments that have some of that specialty. And last I heard, it's still in draft at the committee level, so it hasn't really had a chance to get out to all officers, all members for all the feedback yet, as they're still kind of tweaking the technical side on that. Mobilization procedure, I'm gonna have to actually do a little more work with Chief Van Camp on an update on this one, but the mobilization procedure and the wildland firefighting procedure really wasn't a district priority or directive. We didn't ever really say we as a district need to do mobilizations, but we did have a lot of our membership encouraging us that we should think about how mobilization might work. Right. How would that go? And I think that they're finding that there's a lot more to that too.
What do you mean by mobilized?
Well, if Eastern Washington, there's a big giant fire, we said we need 6 engines in District 8, send an engine company of wildland firefighter types to go out to Spokane for 2 weeks. And we never committed that we will do it, but the concept of the procedure was more intended that if staffing is such, then it could go to a process where the fire chief could approve or deny, are we going to do the mobilization? And I really had a lot of build up on how that would go. So that one, again, I'm saving for later, but we might look at pushing out that. If that's the reason I asked to take it off.
So we didn't vote anybody this year? No. When was the last time South Bay's voted anybody?
Aside from like West Thurston has the big, Scatter Creek fire, we just sent a crew out of an initial dispatch, but we've never actually officially done speed mode. To my knowledge.
Before your time, I think we did.
Oh,
We did,
yeah.
yeah, we did.
Okay.
Brendan and some other guys.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
Eastern Washington.
before my time is this.
Yeah.
So that,
It's been a while.
yeah, 115 years, I can tell you that. Shore-based water rescue, that was just a kind of more of a matter of just getting finish up. I don't see that being too technical because the parameters on there said they're not gonna get into diving or jet skis or any of that, but rather clarify what does that mean for the crew, wear life vests, flow ropes, that kind of stuff. And that's just a matter of getting work going. I know Chief Klaus has made some headway on there, but it hasn't actually gotten so far as a certificate of membership yet. Natural gas emergency actually wasn't one on our goal one, but being as it's one of the ones that we're looking at updating, I added it, just kind of put an update on there. It's something that's in a draft form. And the last one's actually also not on our goal one, but it was something as an example of the county procedure committee, air transport, how do we deal with helicopters and all that, and the county procedure, we have a countywide, which is all adopted. That's just a matter of saying, hey, chief, you want to reform it into our header?
Yeah.
So that's some of the delay, that's some of the challenge, and that's kind of an update on the challenge we had on goal one.
So, question on a couple of these, it says, maybe these are, no, this is called hazardous material incident operations. Is that a policy?
That's gonna be a policy, yeah.
Policy, and it says estimate to adopt in October. And that's 3 weeks from now.
That one shouldn't be too bad. It's gonna be at a policy level, and we decided that that one, we're not going to necessarily get into the SOP level, because this one's gonna be a policy.
Right?
I shouldn't say, maybe adopt is the right word, I'm sorry. Well, I'm gonna amend that word, estimate to have a final draft to propose in October.
Yes.
Let me change that. to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because in October, I would be getting into Chief Van Camp to say, does he approve of recommending this policy? To which
Right.
point you would then see it's not October. That's
Right.
what they're like.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point. That's what I was thinking, is that we don't have it
You would.
this month, and so, yeah,
Good catch. Thank you.
right. Okay. Yeah, no, thank you for the detail on that.
If there's any questions, I can go. through
Got
this
bigger
one.
than you planned to begin with. wasn't just
It
gonna
was a
be
bigger
6?
project than I anticipated.
Now you got like.
Right, yeah. And our zoomed in board members, of course, you didn't get the benefit of the handout, but is there any general question that you have or anything you want to bring up? No? Okay,
Good. Will those documents be available if I come into the office and pick some up
We can make them available, sure.
He can email it to you.
or email? That would be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
all right, thank you for that. That's our goal one update. Right? Moving on to goal two.
Yep. Okay. Goal two, better news. So the sheet on the one you're looking for actually is either changed.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else. So it's really the same progress report on career firefighters. Obviously, we're down 2 on the career spot. And we filled out our 2025 goal for county 6. So moving forward on our goal 2 plan, update our 5 lateral firefighters. We met most of them tonight, so they're doing great. They really are coming along fine and getting through. It's amazing to see the lateral, how fast they go through the probationary first year. So, we do have interviews scheduled because we are working to bring on 5 additional entry level firefighters starting in January.
Right.
So with that, we are interviewing 50 people. We had 198. My last check, 198 people actually applied. Nice. For us, which is a great problem to have. Because
Right.
in the past, we've had not enough of that. So we're happy with that. And so what we do is we take it and we are under scoring system and pick out the top 50.
Right.
Call
And I'm sorry, the basic requirements for being able to apply then were 18 years old,
Right.
driver's license,
this.
and and
Breathing.
high school diploma or not even?
Yeah, high school diploma, B18 driver's license.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they go on through the testing sequence where they take the written test and do their physical, the CPAT test to apply, to be eligible. I guess that was the basic part.
Right.
So we went through and did our call list and called down, and we got 50 people scheduled for a 2-day gauntlet of 3 of our own initial members. So what they'll do is they'll come in actually Monday and Tuesday, 15th and 16th. So they've got real quick interviews, 5 each day. They are tasked with narrowing down to there at the top, we're gonna rank order them all, and then narrow down the favorite of those 50 to get Chief Ancamp and myself, top 12, or 14, depending on the recommendation. And narrow the top 12, and then on September 23rd, Chief Plan will be interviewing 12 to try to find our ranking selection on how that process is out. And we are looking to send 10 to background, so they do the background, if we find ones we like at that, we go to the background process, after the backgrounds come back, we review the background history, and then we can decide based on how that looks, who of that we want to make conditional offers for. Conditional offers say, well, your next step is to go forward on medical eval, psychological eval. That's the conditional based on how that comes back, goes back as a pass-fail type of deal. And then both the passes that come back on that, we then get to make formal offers to 5 people. And that would put us into November, because it takes October to November to background some of that going. And then into November would be the psych and the medical, and then we process through to try to make offers in November. The anticipation of a start date 1st of January. At which point we're talking next to our neighbors over at IC and see if we can put them in the firefighter EMT Academy, South Sound Regional Academy, and get those 5 through that. And then they're anticipated to graduate on June, correct, if anybody knows that ever did.
We got some dates for you if you want. That academy will officially start on the 5th for the individual departments to run their new member orientation. It'll, and then EMT starts on January 12th. And graduation is going to be on June 20th.
June 20th. Okay, so yeah, we bring them in January, well, probably 2nd. Have a couple days to give them their paperwork going, and let Heidi do the paperwork. And send them off right there.
Right. So we hope we'll put 5 in and get 5 out. However, historically, when we put folks in the EMT class and you put in a group, some that don't make it, they can't handle the educational part of it, the detailed medical stuff and that kind of thing. So, yeah, anyway, it could happen. I'm not saying it will, but it kind of sounds, yeah, based on history, yeah, I would say our odds of getting 5 for 5 are both pretty low.
On our volunteer academy, we've had a high washout rate. Our career academy. So then again, so
This will be our 3rd EMT class in the last 2 years with, say, 40 recruits, we lost 1. So that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, numbers are pretty good.
And so what's the difference? I mean, what's making the difference? Is it the material is the material, so that kind of stuff?
Well, I think there's a lot of factors in there. I think, well, I hate to say this out loud, but you're more committed when it's your career. Like, there are definitely some people that have put their toe into the volunteer role and realize that's not for them pretty early. They don't want the commitment. And once you make that career step, I think you're a little bit more committed to that at that point. The EMT class for volunteers also spread out over 14 weeks as opposed to 6 weeks long. So actually, if you put those dates closer together, that retention seems to help them day after day after day. So it's simple and complex. They take one skill, they move on to the next, on the next, on the next, so it's fresh and fresh. So there's no outside influences that factor in that we're getting when they something they learned the week before on Saturday.
But another variable too is, if we think about it, there's 200 people. We selected the top 25% of the academy. All of them go past the physical. So of the 200, this is the academic part. And then if we interview them, narrow it down, we'll down to who might be most successful.
Yeah, and I haven't taken the online test test, but, we've had tests, and things like that, I don't know how rigorous it is, whatever, but anyway, I hope we do well. I like your point about the consistency and not having that gap in between, that makes a lot of sense, too. Yeah,
Yeah, we were initially worried about that, just that amount of information, that 6 weeks, can they retain it? And it's actually beneficial.
yeah,
If they spend a weekend studying, they're right back after on Monday morning, they go Monday through Friday. We've had a lot of luck so far.
right. Good, okay, thanks for that. Jim.
So that's our upcoming plans, and that puts us in through to the rest of 2025. And then 2026 will be another report.
Right. Okay,
Any questions on that too?
I have none. Anything, no, okay.
No.
Yeah. Well covered. Thank you for that, all those details. Okay, we have 3 different policies that are requested for approval. We've had the opportunity to see all of those policies. I don't know why we can't address them in one swoop, and then see if there's any questions or any discussion you want to have. So looking for a motion for to adopt all 3 policies.
I can make a motion to adopt policy 2-50, emergency medical services, policy 361, paid family medical leave, and 2-05, mutual aid and automatic response.
Okay, moved and
Second,
seconded. Okay,
Wait, who made the motion? Sorry.
Pam made the motion,
Thank you.
and Jake jumped ahead. Seconded.
In 2 seconds.
In 2 seconds, yeah.
No worries, thank you.
So open, is there any question from anybody on the board or any issues that they want to raise?
nope.
Nope.
Yeah, because we had the opportunity to look at these and all that kind of. Okay, with that, then all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all right, that's everyone. Great, I'm taking care of 3 things at once. Well done, everyone. Okay, we have an item on here about social event planning. And this was a topic that Chief Van Camp and Heidi brought up. We had a little meeting here about a week ago. Various folks, I was there representing the board. We had folks that were part of our volunteer staff. We had folks part of our career staff. The basic thing here is that we want to make sure that we don't have a small cadre of people who have to carry the load to do every event we ever do. And, putting it all on our administrative staff is not the right thing. Historically, we've had the board participate in events. We've had the board sort of direct certain events. Our crab feed was over at 7. We had activities here that we did as fundraisers, and this ties together with the Firefighters Association and the benefit that we can provide our members from a social standpoint through the association. There's certain things that the district as a government entity is restricted from being able to do. We can pay for activities that involve our membership and our employees, but not necessarily their spouses. So we've combined and worked with the association in the past to make sure that when we have an event like the awards banquet or our picnics or some things like that, that what we're doing is we're making sure that we're sharing the cost appropriately between the government entity and the association. What Chief would like to see is, or would like to get, is feedback from the different groups. So the folks from the Volunteer Association, Freed's first name, Richard. Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. Richard was there and is going to be talking with his membership about those things. Brett was there, representing our current folks to a certain extent and the union aspect of it to a certain extent. So, I mean, we've got this discussion going on. We're just at the very kind of beginning of it, but I was asked to kind of bring it back to the board for your thoughts and see if there is interest, how we could get ourselves involved as individuals and as a board to support the kinds of things that are being done here. So just kind of throwing that out for any comment, whatever.
So I have a question. So you're talking about social events, so you mean like the awards banquets and those kind of things, or you mean something separate from what?
It would be the awards banquet, the Christmas dinner, the picnic, things of that nature. And
Right.
I think what started it was, well, we're getting burnt out, number one, but also, so we hear grumblings from people that it's stale, it's same old kind of deal. And we lost Janet, and she was one of the people that got all the door prizes, And so it's like, well, people want to change it, let's get more involvement. So, it's not the same three people coming up with the ideas year after year after year. So that's kind of what started it.
I hate to go full office, the comedy show office, but the party planning committee, have you ever thought about putting something together like that from a representative from each level, from firefighter to lieutenant to battalion chief to commissioner to admin person, and like put together a committee that plans these things out? That way you can kind of.
The intention is kind of the start of the idea.
Yeah, that's kind of where this is, really. It's going along those lines.
Yeah, we just had our first meeting last week. But yeah.
Right. So what
I don't mind.
what occurred to me was that, there's things that we could do with families. You could have like, board game night or bingo or, various kinds of things. We haven't done those kinds of things. Probably did back in the 60s and 70s, maybe, I don't know. But, because I remember hearing about a number of kinds of things that the association used to do. Association used to be a big deal. Things have changed over time. We're not trying to replicate that necessarily, but I think for those folks who have said, well, gee, the awards banquet is boring and it's the same thing all the time. Well, there's certain things you want to accomplish there. You want to provide recognition, this and that. Okay, we can do it in a different way, but let's get those ideas to come from somewhere. Don't just throw stones. Let's,
And I think a few years ago, we did put out a survey, which unfortunately they're poorly, everybody doesn't participate in it, but we threw out some ideas like having it at the Children's Museum in Olympia and doing it as a family thing, or at the Great Wolf Lodge or something like that, but we have feedback that parents don't want to bring their kids, that they want it to be more of an adult thing. So, but, I guess you could interview everybody and you get probably two different responses with that, so.
How long ago did you do that survey?
It's been a few years since we've done it, so, yeah.
I don't think that's such a terrible idea too.
Because we've had some brilliant ideas, but they went over like, I thought they were good ideas. But
Yeah.
So you could have a committee, a small committee, not a lot, start with and come up with ideas and then see, how they draw out, pen out, some things that cost money.
well, we spend money anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're spending money, so it's just how can we use our money more wisely, I guess, or.
How can we be more inclusive and come up with ideas? Yeah,
So
and really the bottom line is to try and make sure that if we're not putting the load on the same people.
Sure, get that.
Right.
Years ago, we would do themes, remember the themes front?
Oh, I didn't-
And like pirate, we had a pirates theme and an 80s theme or 70s theme or I don't know, and it was dressing up and stuff, but not everybody, that went over Some people loved it, some
Yeah.
people did not like it at all. And then we started the entertainment, where we would come up with entertainment, but you can only do so much entertainment. We recycle that, you know, so it's like, we're kind of burned out with, what do we do?
So kind of figuring out what people like. one
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
what people are willing to help achieve.
Right.
Some of them are.
So anyway, just to, you know, we don't need a decision on anything tonight. I just want to throw the idea out there, just make folks aware that we're trying to, you know, boost that up a little bit and include, you know, even the board.
Yeah, it's a good way for us as a board or intermingle, get to know each other, because there's a lot of I recognize faces, but I don't remember names, but we need to spend a little more time once a month, talk about it once a month, but you know, we need to spend a couple times a year.
Yeah.
The family night or something.
Right.
Besides a board night for Christmas. Or something fun. People can come to the dinner. Oh, sometimes that fails, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of that. My husband hates.
We're signing you up then? We're signing you up? You're on the committee? Okay.
All right, thanks for your attention on
Somebody
that.
voluntold.
All right, we're gonna move on to the secretary's report, and the first thing is approval of the August 12th minutes.
The minutes went out, there were no edits to them.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes for August.
Okay, moved and seconded. Is there any questions or comments about the minutes from August 12th?
Nope.
Seeing none,
Thank you.
all in favor of approval, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions on any of the warrants?
Okay, yeah, on to the warrants. Man, had nothing.
I just have one. The public safety testing was at 8:14. That was for the lieutenant's test.
14.
Yeah.
Look at it, right. Tell you the wrong thing.
836.
How much was it?
11,294.
Yeah, so that was actually a duplicate payment that I discovered later. Well, they brought to my attention that we'd already paid for it. And I'm like, well, how can that be? Because I checked all the invoices, but we had the vendor in the system with four different names. So it was paid under one vendor name, and then, but they have since returned the check, so I redeposited it.
Okay,
So that would have been one.
Yeah.
That's the only one that I had.
okay. Gloria or Dan, did you have any questions on the warrants?
Nope.
No.
I had a couple of things. So under, it's 806 is Trotter and Morton is our monthly HVAC. And then 833, Trotter and Morton says monthly HVAC. So I see this is for June through August, 833 is June through August. So is the earlier one, the $1,553.21, is that a different month?
It must be. What
May.
item number, what transaction is it?
Okay, it's right, 806,
Okay,
there's a monthly HVAC maintenance,
yeah,
$1,500. And then down below at 833, there's a monthly HVAC service that is $8,000.
I will check on that and follow up on that for you.
Okay,
Unless you got any answer.
What? Oh,
Yes, the $8,000, that's like a quarterly thing.
that was a quarterly month.
Yeah. And then that one-off could have been a bill then to fix one of the thermostats or something. I don't have the bill directly in front of me, so I can't see it.
okay, so
Okay.
then it would be just labeled incorrectly, it's not,
Potentially, I would have to see
Yeah.
it myself, but yeah, so
Yeah.
the large number, that's their quarterly.
okay,
But I'll
Service,
double
and they
check.
service all of our facilities.
right,
And then anything less than, it's like a one-off, where they came out, fix something.
awesome. Okay, perfect, thank you. And then the last one is 827, Ellen and Curtis and Sons, and it's just a comment. $1,003 for a spectacle kit for a face piece.
Oh, that was multiple for the new members, for our SCBA masks require having glasses to see.
Okay,
Imagine that. And so we bought multiple kits for them. It's not a per person. I think they run 200 or 300 a piece.
that's what I would have thought.
Don't quote me on that, but we
In
were
the
out
hundreds, not the thousands.
Yeah,
per-
we bought a couple.
Right,
It's been a
well,
while
and
since-
apparently we bought some more. Item number 804, it included a number of things, inhalation valve parts. I don't know what ANBD is.
We did have,
That
And
was supposed to be
spectacle.
and, that was a.
Oh, and, okay,
we did just have our annual flow testing.
Yeah.
So they come through and they test every bottle and every mask and everything and every pack,
right,
and then make any repairs, and then they bill us for whatever.
okay, there was a spectacle kit on that one listed as well. So, part of the multiples. Okay, yeah, thank you. Plural spectacle kits. $1,000 seemed like a lot for one.
I would agree.
Yeah. Okay, with that, any other questions on the warrants? If not, looking for a motion to approve.
I'll move that we approve the warrants as they were.
Right. Move and. I'll second.
Second.
There we go. Thank you for giving me a chance. All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
So I was gonna give you an update on the administrative assistant position. We had over 150 applications. It was very daunting to go through them. 120 of them were through Indeed. And I learned how, if I were ever gonna use Indeed again, I would do it differently. I would put more specific questions on it to filter through. Because I did end up with about 5 applicants from that bunch that we're gonna interview. But, you know, it was a lot, it was very intense. And then I've got scheduled 12 applicants that we're gonna interview on the 29th and 30th of this month. And then hopefully find 3 of them to send to background checks, and we'll decide on one of them.
Right.
And, yeah, so,
Yeah, even 12 sounds like a lot to initial.
It does.
interviews, yeah.
Wow.
and then I've got 2 assessments that I'm gonna give, I was sharing it with you, 2 assessment tests to give each of them. One is problem solving with Excel, and one is letter writing.
Yeah,
Right.
okay. Yeah. Excellent. Well, I like the idea of the assessments on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, good luck to you, 12, that's
Yeah.
quite a bit. Okay, any other questions for Heidi? Nothing?
Nope.
Okay, we're down to announcements.
No announcements that I have.
Okay.
No.
And any commissioner comments?
It was very nice to have them here for their part of
I
the
would agree.
long board meeting,
Yeah.
to get to meet them all.
Yeah. I don't know how that is, you know, what the thinking is on the other side of the table on pinning during a commissioner meeting, but,
Well, we had some great debate on it. I think everybody should have to do it, but some people were allowed to opt out. But I was glad to see that everybody that was asked, there was some people that I know missed it, and that's because they were out of town. And then there's quite a few of the career staff that live further away, like north of Seattle, and they still came. So I think that just reaffirms that we should ask people to come. So I was happy to see people.
yeah, I was too. I mean, I was impressed with the size of the
Yeah.
group that we had. It was
I think that's
Wow.
the biggest surprising.
biggest group we've had absolutely for a commissioner meeting, but even just,
No, that's just us
even just a gathering, that was a lot of folks and it was, yeah, it was
More
nice.
than we had at the picnic.
Nice to see a lot of folks. Yeah, anyway, please pass that on if you would. We appreciate the time that they took to come and bring their family. Good. All right, any review and follow-up? We just had the, oh wait, never mind on the monthly HVAC, I have the answer. So that one's done, yeah. Is there any other follow-up?
I was just gonna amend my word it up to make a draft.
Right, excellent. Okay, anything else? With that, I think we're done. We'll conclude our meeting. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Kid, sorry.
I know, I miss them.